After we do this...
Hey, Jim, we're blinking.
Abraham Lincoln.
Why do y'all say, hey, Jim, we're blinking?
We gotta let Jim know that we're blinking.
Is he here?
He's in there.
He's next door.
He's
Is
like the
he
Wizard of Oz.
He doesn't like people blinking when he's blinking,
Yeah.
so we have to let him know.
Yeah, it's a thing. Super important that we
Whenever
let Jim know
done
we're
after
blinking.
this, can I have a snack? I'm hungry.
You want one of those? You want one of those donuts?
I'll take one.
Go get you one of them donuts. Come on.
Not right now, girl. We're
Shit,
rolling. We're
That's
blinking.
fine. Go get a donut.
All right, hustle
Hurry
up.
I want you to be the happiest little donut eater in the whole room. Although he's pretty happy over there.
I try to be. You know where they are? Yeah. Okay.
She spotted them when she came in. She just was too nice to ask for one.
I mean, I usually have
You-
a tracker on donuts. Like
Yeah.
I know where they are.
Hurry up, donut. I'm calling you donut this whole episode, by the way. Come on, donut.
That sounds really weird.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Refined Life Podcast. We're going to get real today. Real. Talking about real. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, give us 5 stars, all that good stuff. Because if you don't, you ain't going to be real. Okay? So do it. Or else. Jared will come haunt you in your sleep.
That intro made me believe that this is not going to be very real. Every reel he added made me think less real.
Well, here's what we're talking about today. These two guys seem to believe that the earth is round.
It is!
When 100% there's zero proof of that. But there's plenty of things to say that the earth is flat.
There's not plenty of things at all.
Let's go through them.
Okay, go through it.
Okay. When you fly east to west, or when you fly east, what happens if you keep flying east?
You go around the...
Right, but you're always going what direction?
Around.
That.
East, correct?
What?
If you go east, you're always going east. If you go back the opposite way, you're going west.
Well,
right?
it would depend. It's only if you're looking at backwards. It's the same way if you're cutting a board and you flip the board over.
No.
You'll cut a different direction that way. You're theoretically still cutting that direction, but you're not cutting that direction on the board.
Doesn't matter. If you're looking at the thing, you're going east to west.
No, that totally does matter. It's the
No.
same thing. If
No.
you take
See,
a board
you're not-
and you cut 45
No.
degrees this direction, and then you flip it over, you're still cutting this direction, but you create two
Yeah, but
different
you're
directions.
it doesn't matter. You're
Nope, that's factual. That is not a thing that you can say that doesn't matter.
Okay.
You're literally arguing this is a flat surface,
but
and
you're-
on the other side of it, it's different. So I'm giving you
No.
a flat surface.
I'm not
and on
talking
the other
about.
side
I'm
is
not talking about
different.
the other. I'm talking about the different direction. I'm not talking about flipping the earth. What I'm saying is,
But you are talking about
No,
it.
you're
when you
not.
go around the Earth,
Right,
you
what-
just went a different direction.
But if you go-
if your
No,
theory was
you're
correct,
not
you would just
listening.
stop.
No,
You'd
see,
just get to the end.
That's the problem. Is you're not even listening.
If
you go
because
east-
it's a dumb analogy.
No, it's
bro.
not. You're
It
wrong.
can't.
You're wrong.
It's-
Okay,
it's-
let's just
Okay,
put it in
all
your
right,
terms.
all right.
No, stop.
You go.
I'm talking.
You go. Yeah, you
I'm
go.
explaining
You
it
go.
to you, so you listen to me,
You're
and then you
explaining
get your
it.
chance to talk.
Okay.
When you start flying, if you fly to Las Vegas, what's the fastest way to fly to Las Vegas? Which direction would you fly?
From here?
Yeah.
West.
Okay. But theoretically, if you wanted to go to Las Vegas, you could fly east.
That's true.
Okay.
Because
but
the
if
Earth
you
is
go
round.
east, you're always going to be going east. You're never going to start going west.
Except if I continue to go east, and then I'll get to the end of the Earth if it's flat.
No.
Yeah.
No.
How would you not?
There's got to be
If
a.
you go east, you're always going east. You're always going east.
That
The whole
is
time.
true.
Right.
But
so
then
you
where?
just made a circle.
Right. You made.
I
a
didn't
circle.
say it's not
Round.
a circle. I said it's not a sphere. It's not spherical.
Here, can I hop in here?
It's
real
it is 100% round. Now let me finish what
Well,
I'm saying.
I'm interested in this. Wait. So you're saying
Yeah.
that it might be a circle,
Right.
but it's not.
You ever seen a galaxy? What they look like?
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
So then what happens when you go north?
Do what? What happens when you go north? You tell
Well,
me.
I go around in a circle again.
But what happens? Where do you start going eventually? If you go north and you go far enough, what happens? You start going.
No, that's not the same thing. You're still going north theoretically.
No, you're not.
If you're going to look
Nope.
at it the other way.
Nope. Get on your compass
So if you go,
and go east, and you're always going to go
Okay.
east.
Okay, I understand where.
But
you're
if you
going
get on a
with that.
compass and you go north, eventually, north is the opposite way of you, and you're starting to go south.
Okay. So what
Bam!
happens-
Facts!
That's
Dropping bombs.
no, that's very misguided.
No.
is at best. So when you
But
go
I have
north,
another point to make, but go ahead with your
but
point.
where do you get them when you go north and you go north enough, and then you start going south? What's happening then?
You're going south.
Oh, okay.
Okay, right.
So are you still going down?
Yeah.
And until you get to the other side, in which
Nope.
then you start going north
Because
again.
what happens when you go south too long? You can't. They won't let you.
Oh, screw you!
You can't. They will shoot you down. When you get to Antarctica, if you try to go too far,
Oh my God!
you get shot down. You know why? Because it's a big ice wall that holds everything in.
Jeff, I'm gonna let you finish this.
Yeah,
'cause
I
there's
wanna hear what a
arguing.
9-year-old's got to
yes,
say.
Go.
Okay, I have a question for you.
I got answers.
So if it's flat, I learned for science that the Earth spins. So how does it orbit the sun if it's flat?
How are we spinning it over 1,000 miles an hour and everything's sitting on a ball?
But how does but in the solar system, the Earth is round.
Right. If
So how does it spin? If it's flat, then it's gonna spin like this. But if it's round,
it's not
gonna
spinning.
spin like
The moon
this.
the moon and the sun are in orbit and they're going around. And they come
No,
back
the
around.
sun doesn't move. Oh my god.
The sun doesn't move?
No.
No. That's what you've been taught, right? Have you ever been outside
I
of the Earth?
literally learned this.
Have
like
you
a
ever
week
have
ago.
you have you ever been to outer space?
No.
Do you know anybody that's personally ever been to outer space?
Yeah.
Who?
I'm.
Nope. Hey, listen, there's about 50 clips that you can look up on the internet of Buzz Aldrin saying, "We never went to the moon. We never went to space."
Okay, but I need an answer. You said in the last episode, if I have an answer, you have an answer.
Well, if you have a question, but I gave you,
Yeah.
I answered your question.
But how the sun doesn't move?
Okay.
Only the
That's what you've been taught.
planets do.
Right. No.
Yeah, he's saying that just because the school has taught you that doesn't make it true. That's his point.
Okay, but I have
Listen,
another
science
question.
right now is telling us that there's more than two genders. So.
No, people are telling us that.
Right, but they're
Science still hasn't said that.
No, yes, they have.
No. Where are you reading that garbage?
Dude, do you want to go onto the what's it called, the World Health Organization, and see the way they define it now?
They're just trying to stay out of trouble. They still know.
What I'm saying is science and the books and the things we're taught in school, not saying they're all wrong, because math is math, reading is reading, those type of things. But when they get into science, when they get into history, when they get into things like that, things are adjusted to fit what they want them to fit. Like right now, all the things that we've learned in history class they're now trying to come in and say that actually wasn't real. It was actually this. Is that not happening in school right now? Are they not trying to change what has been taught to us for years?
I mean, I definitely agree that there's an agenda bigger
Yes.
than we could ever acknowledge or comprehend, for that
Okay.
matter. So, yes,
Agreed.
I would agree that a lot of what we hear and learn and are taught in schools is either, one, not true, or two, not relevant, period.
I agree with that.
I don't think we've walked on the moon.
Okay. Do you believe we've actually been to outer space? What they would consider outer space. I believe that we have satellites way up there in the sphere.
Yeah, I
A
mean,
dome.
I think if the Earth was flat, Elon would have already called it flat by now. I think Musk would have confirmed it. I mean, he's got a Tesla flying in space. He would. He's not politically motivated,
Right,
and
but,
he's got.
but
enough
I'm not saying
money
there's
to-
not space. We're different. People think that the Earth is a ball. That it's this.
I think he would have confirmed by now the Earth is not a ball.
But I don't think. How can it be a ball? So even if you think about it on this level, we have sea level, right? Mm-hmm. And all this ground is here, and some of it has different elevations than other, but it goes up, and it can go down too. And then you get to the core of the Earth, but then you get in the ocean. We've never gotten to the depths of the deepest part of the ocean, right? Because you can't sustain. Your little submarine will implode.
I mean, because if it would be like trying to travel through China through the water, right? If it's round and you're trying to get to the depths of the sea, you're actually headed to the other part of the Earth, right?
no, I mean because China China is east.
I checked out of this one.
No,
Checked
see,
out of it.
here's what I'm saying. Here's what I really think. I don't know that it's flat or that it's round, but when I hear people argue about it, I don't think that anybody has given hardcore proof one way or the other. I don't look at it and say that person's right or that person's right. I look at it and
I
say,
definitely think there's far more proof for round, and I
But you've not
also
given me any.
immediately pull out of any idiotic sort of conversation, and I mean I think there's so many more conversations to be had that I'm just out of this one.
If it's flat, I don't understand how you fly around the world. That's the part.
Oh, he's not saying that. He's saying there's a circle. There's one circle one way. There's not a circle any other direction.
no, that's not
Because
what I
they will
said.
shoot
That
you
would make
down
it-
if you
that's
go
not-
around too far.
Okay.
But that's true.
That
Try
circle.
it and see. Do you know anybody that's been allowed to fly to Antarctica?
I have a question
fly
and
over
you have an
Antarctica.
answer.
Got it.
Okay, so if you draw a circle on here,
Mhm.
and if you fly this way, you're going to get to the end of the circle. So then how do you go around the other way?
Okay, so even if this was flat, and I started here,
Uh-huh.
and my destination was over here,
Uh-huh.
even if this was flat and I started flying this way, I would come back to here.
I know, but what if the circle's this way, and then on the other side, there's, let's say, something. A place.
Right.
I don't know
So
what's on
Vinny
the
has
other
described
side
an
of the world.
Earth that's basically like a mushroom head.
No, no, I haven't. Here's
You
what
can
I
go
here's-
here and here, just not over here.
There's a firmament over us, and above it is the water, and below us is the water. That's biblical. Fact, or not fact? That's in the Bible.
I don't know what is fact to you at all at this point, so I
But
don't,
here's
know
what I'm saying.
how.
You can have a round. You can be a circle, and if I have this circle and I go around here, now this is still flat. But if I keep traveling this way, I'm still going. If I'm going this way, so say I'm going east, and I travel this way, I'm still always going east.
But there's another side on the other thing. So.
But you're still going east.
I feel like to discredit this, you might as well discredit everything you've ever thought, learned, heard.
Get this back in. No, but what I'm saying is,
Why not? No, that makes no sense to me. To discredit something that has been shown over and over again, why would you believe anything at all?
I don't.
So.
But you have faith in a God and a Bible.
Yes.
But
Because I felt that I've watched it. I've been part of that for my entire life. What I haven't ever done is met somebody that actually went to space, that has actual hardcore proof that they were in space.
I mean, I've always questioned, and I know we're taught this, and this probably people are probably going to think I'm ignorant as hell, but it is what it is because this is a topic.
I'm okay with
brings
that
out.
because I'm perfectly fine to sit and have the talk.
I'm not saying I agree that I'm not.
But
a
you
flat
are a
earther.
liar. Because I asked you before this ever started, it's like, we're not going to talk about the earth being flat. And you're like, no, that's not what we're talking about at all.
Because I didn't want to ruin the episode, but also
Why are you being so
if somebody like me that you know as your best friend, as somebody that is a pretty honest dude, was willing to lie to you just to make sure this episode was going to be good.
Shut up!
Why would you not think that they would lie to you about landing on the moon?
So,
Furthermore,
What are
have
they
you
gaining out of this? What are they gaining about lying to Jared Blake his entire life that the world is round?
They didn't lie to you.
I don't. It
wasn't about just you.
What did they gain out of any
Well,
of it?
I mean, so to me, going to the moon was wanted to be the first one on the moon, so we wanted to win the race to the moon.
Okay.
So we staged a moon landing.
Okay.
You know, correct.
And what happens out of
Well,
that?
then we get to be the first people that were on the moon, America, which I'm all
So-
about. I'm pro America. I'm
So
for
the
America.
rest of the nations were like, well, screw it. We're never going to beat America. They landed on the moon first.
Did they land on the moon?
But, no, I'm saying, what did they supposedly get out of any of these lies that you're talking about?
Because they get to be the leader in something. The world,
Bro, we got the biggest army. We are the leader.
no, China, I think, has a bigger army than us.
Nope. Go check it out. No one comes even close to comparison to us.
I think they have more
when it
soldiers
comes
than
to-
us. They
They might have more soldiers. We got the weapons.
Yeah. But,
So you're not going to beat us. We already are the leader.
well, I mean,
like,
if you're looking at weapons, but now we're going into. We don't have to get into that because I got a whole other theory on that.
So
I don't think
I'm not into any of these theory conversations
question.
anymore with Vinny.
Hey, because you can't prove me wrong.
Because you're just because I've got divorced and went to court, and you're doing the same crap. You're doing the same crap that lawyer did. It was like, prove me wrong. We believe that Jared is making X amount of dollars. Prove us wrong. I'm never going to be okay with the prove me wrong theory. I'm into the prove it right theory.
Prove me
and if
wrong.
you got no right, if you have no ammunition to prove it right,
prove them right.
I give two shits about proving them right or wrong.
But that's the point.
I get on a plane, I go where I want to go.
And so you believe that the earth is round because you've been told it's round, correct? That it's sphere.
Yes, I'm going to accept a certain amount because there's no sense in me arguing against bullcrap things that aren't going to change anything.
But you still don't know if it is or not.
Well, no, but why would I care?
That's all I needed.
What's your question?
Okay, so, and going back to you. So, but whenever I watch videos
See, now I got her convinced. She's starting to think about it now.
When you watch videos
of, like, when back to school, but whenever I watch videos of the, what's it called? Outer space?
astronaut.
No, outer space. Yeah.
Outer space.
But the planets are round. But what I'm saying is, if the circle's flat, then it's gonna be like kind of like this, but flat. But how would you get on the other side of the world? Because you can't go sideways because you're gonna get at the end of the circle. But you need another way to get.
Right, but like you said a while ago with the board theory, if you get to the end of the circle and you're going east, you're always going to go back around to where you came from.
Yeah, so he's saying, so let's say this desk is Earth and it's flat like this desk. It's not that you're going to go around the desk, it's that you're just going to come back over it this way. So you're staying on top of the flat Earth. You're just flying over top of it.
Yeah.
So picture a globe. Let's say this is.
Oh.
Let's say this is the globe.
No.
Hold on. I've always wondered, like, let's say Tennessee's right here, and we're standing up. We're actually standing out.
Yeah.
We're always sideways.
Yeah.
I've never comprehended that. I'm not saying I'm a flat earther.
No, but that's my point. The Earth is round. It's just not. I don't believe it's a sphere. I believe that.
It makes Jared laugh.
He gets so upset about it, but he's not able.
Because what I hear you saying is, little girl, go to bed and have nightmares for the rest of your life. Because everything you've been told are lies, and you'll never ever know the truth, and one day you'll die.
I don't worry about it. I just whenever I grew up believing.
Benny's going to get to heaven, and the Earth is actually going to be a little bit more of an oval than a sphere, and he's going to be like, "See, I told you."
Told you.
I mean, an oval can still.
So for you, if you took Earth and printed it on a piece of paper, that's Earth,
right.
Rather than it being.
And there's different levels. Like you got a mountain that's this high out of sea level, and then you got other ones that are all the way below sea level, right? I mean, you have all these things. So think of it on this. When you go to fly, you elevate off the flat ground. You elevate off, and you fly through the air, not in space, through the air, and you stay at that. And when you land, you come right back down to the flat surface that you took off from. You don't fly over. You go elevate up, and then fly straight, and then go back down.
So gravity also doesn't exist?
No, gravity exists.
Oh, okay.
I mean, gravity can exist without the world being a sphere.
Does the rest of the solar system exist?
Yes.
Are they all flat as well?
But it's in what you've been told. You've never seen Mars. You might see a blinking red light that you think is Mars.
So what do you think the solar system is?
I think that there is eternity in space that goes forever that you can go to.
That's easy to comprehend.
Well, I mean, it's not easy to comprehend. You can't comprehend it because we can't see it. We can't feel it. We can't do it. We don't know anybody that's ever been
But
there.
are the rest of do you believe there are the other planets?
I don't know if I believe that there are or not. Because I've never seen actual proof. I've seen where they say, hey, this is what's going on Mars right now. But I also saw that they landed on the moon in a piece of tinfoil.
What you're saying here is that this conversation is over.
No.
Yeah, but no, it is. Because if I sit down to debate with someone else the Bible, And then they go, I don't believe in the Bible. I go, well, there's no conversation here then. So you're saying, I don't know that I believe anything that they've ever told us is real. Yeah. Therefore, there's no conversation here. If I believe that what they're telling us is real and you say that's not, then there's no conversation. It's just, I don't believe this, I believe this.
Not once did I say it's not real. I said I don't have any proof or know if it is one way or the other. I believe that it very well could be a sphere. But all the things that I have looked at, the facts that I've had in front of me make me believe that at some point when you start going south, anytime you go north, you can only go true north. I believe true north is the center, right? The center of everything is right here, is the north. Because if you get a compass, it's always pointing north, right? And if you go north long enough, you start going south. Correct?
Oh, I'm done with the conversation.
Well, see,
you need to look at him.
You don't want to have the conversation because see, I'm making sense to him over there, our producer in the corner.
I'm not in the episodes.
I know, but you don't have to be, but I can see your gears turning.
No, his gears are going, I'd like to get another donut.
that is a very good possibility as well. You go far enough north, you eventually start going south. You don't go up to go north, right? You understand that?
No, you're looking at him. I'm not in this conversation.
Here's what
happened is Jared is bowed out because he's starting to think, man, Vinny's got a point.
No, there's no point. There's absolutely no point.
Go ahead,
I have
Emma.
2 questions
All right, hit me.
for you.
Answers.
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not a genius.
I'm just asking.
You can't have
a question.
answers because he doesn't actually have a belief system in place.
No, it's not about this. It's about the solar system, but it's not about if the Earth's flat or round. But do you know how we can't feel the Earth spinning?
That's a great question. It's going thousands of miles an hour.
No, I'm asking you.
Yeah, do you know?
I know, but I'm saying if you
know what you've been taught.
What have you been taught?
That it's gravity that keeps us, and if somebody said if you stay still for too long, then you'll feel it, but you really can't because of gravity.
Yeah. I mean, I lay in bed every night and I never feel like I'm spinning.
Okay, and I have another question.
Now, I have ate a gummy before. And this might be proof for Jared's point. And was it your bass player or you that dug into the ground?
Yeah, if you get stoned enough, you can feel there's.
I think
it's happened.
Yeah, well, I think that's your head spinning. But go ahead. What was the next question?
She froze like Earth.
I need to know 7 reasons why you think the Earth is
7?
flat. Yeah.
Okay.
I need 7.
1, north is the true center.
But it can't be about north, east, or south.
No, come on, no.
Okay, fine.
Give her 7.
2.
Wait, why is north then? Why do you believe that? Why did they put on a compass this is north and said this is what we're pointing at?
It doesn't even matter. You could call it west. It's just the pull.
But how do you know they didn't make up the compass? You're talking about magnetic pull. Maybe they just gave you this one and it just points that way and you don't even know why.
That's a great point.
I have a question for you.
There you go. So now we've discredited the main piece.
But we have a piece of material in front of us. You don't have to have north, south, east, and west marked on a compass.
Yeah, but you don't know what it means.
The magnetic pull goes to the true north.
But what's the magnetic pull? Maybe that's all crap.
Well, when you have a magnet in your hand that has a compass that has a magnet in it.
Okay, and but it's pulling you toward what magnet?
It pulls you towards the north, towards the true north.
Because that's where they keep the magnet?
No, it's not a magnet. That's
where they keep the north magnet?
That's where the magnetic pull of the Earth is. But isn't that just
what you've been told?
No, this is a true fact.
Oh, wait. We're getting into true facts now. So what is the true fact of that then? But is that or is that not something you've been told?
Get a compass. Take all the letters off of it.
Right, but I'm saying the compass
and it's still going to point to that same direction.
But maybe that's just the machine that they built. It just always points that way.
It could be.
Maybe that has nothing to do with a magnetic pull.
But she asked me a question I'm trying to answer, and I'm giving you the reason why it's the magnetic pull of the Earth.
But
why
should I believe in the magnetic pull?
Because you have a thing in your hand that has a magnet in it that always points north, no matter what.
But maybe magnets just do that.
And it don't have to be north. They might have just told us it's north. We just know that it's always going to point that direction. And if you follow it, you will always go north.
Or you might go to hell for all I know. I don't know what
You could.
it's pointing to.
You could. You've never went all the way north because you know what happens when you start going all the way north?
Apparently you get shot down.
You start going south, then you get shot down. So,
But I love how he's picking certain facts are facts.
no, I don't have to pick a fact. I've been shown that fact, and I've seen
But
a
that's not-
compass.
But why do you believe in the compass maker?
I don't have to believe in a compass maker.
But you put something in your hand and said, "This is what this does," and you went, "Okay."
You can make the compass yourself if you got the magnets.
Have you ever done that?
No, I don't have
Exactly.
to.
So then, how do you
I've
believe in that?
had a compass in my hand,
but you've never done it,
and I can
you don't
take,
know what's inside that compass, though.
Yes, I do. I've taken compasses apart. I had a freaking combat
Okay.
knife when I was a kid. Rambo
Okay.
combat knife. If you take off all the letters,
Uh-huh.
it's always going to still point that same direction
And what? Why does it do that?
because the magnetic pull of the Earth.
Or maybe it just works that way. Maybe it just does that.
No, it's the magnetic pull of the Earth.
And where's it pulling you?
North. But guess what?
But
if you go too far north, it's going to go the opposite way because it doesn't always point towards the end. If you hold it this way and the north is that way, it might be pointing northeast, but it might say southeast on the compass.
I mean, that'd be hard to figure out though if you're just doing it on your own with no help of anyone else. Because if you keep going, how would you not know that you just? I mean, you can't see the world from up above in your position. Everything you've seen are pictures that someone else took and told you that that's what that looks like.
No, everything you've seen from space are things that nobody else has seen, except for the select few of NASA.
But we saw all of. I mean, I really feel like you're grasping at straws here of just picking
I would.
certain facts.
Here's what I've determined. I think it would be an epic episode to bring on a pro
Yeah.
From each side.
from each side.
Yeah.
That'd be stellar.
Because I did say at the start of this, I'm not an expert on this.
You
but
cleared that. Yep.
through the things that I have watched and the things that I've read, there is a reason to believe that it's possible that it could be flat. There's also reasons to believe that it's possible that it could be sphere,
I'm with that.
which has always been my
I'm
point.
with that.
However, the things that I look at, I'm like, okay, things that are tangible to me, if you don't want to give Compass the credit it deserves, the things that are tangible to me is that if you follow a compass and you go far enough north, you do start going south. And then the compass, you can literally follow the end. And if you go up and you go over the North Pole, as soon as you go over that
Have you
North
done
Pole,
that?
yeah, I'm getting there. I got to give her several more reasons.
You walked to the North Pole though? You
No.
went to the North Pole with your compass?
No, that's not what I'm telling you.
Oh.
my
I know that
Well, you didn't
anytime
see
you,
that then, so you don't
anytime
know
you get
that it
up,
does that.
I've traveled many directions in my life.
Holding your compass?
Yeah, holding a compass.
Holding.
Dude, I was a-
Because I've been on a lot of planes with you. I've never seen you with your
I
compass.
was an Eagle Scout. I have a compass in my car. It always tells me which direction I'm going.
Yeah, but did you go to the North Pole with it?
No, I don't have to go to the North Pole.
Right,
You can't
so
even
you
go to the
don't-
North
you don't-
Pole.
and you didn't
Santa
go over
Claus,
the North
Santa
Pole.
Claus will kick you out.
So you've
First
never
off-
you've never actually done that then.
But
So
if
how do you
Right.
know that that's real?
Because people have done it that are on this planet. And,
But
I
they-
know people that have flown over the North Pole.
Holding a compass.
Well, yeah.
I've got.
They have a compass on the
I've-
plane that they're in.
So when you get too far south, what it's you said it's a
So anytime if you continue to go south, you will eventually hit Antarctica. And they
Which
will
is-
not allow you to fly. You can't go in. You can't set up your own mission and go discover Antarctica.
and you say that's a ice wall.
An ice wall, yeah.
Is that why global warming is a thing? Because the ice wall could be melting.
But if you go to another part of the ice wall, it's getting thicker. So on certain points, they say, "Oh, the ice wall is melting," but then other places are getting colder as that other place gets hotter. Mm-hmm. Which, if it's a circle, that would make sense. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So here's one thing. Two, and you can look these studies up, and because I fell into the what do they call the
Went down
rabbit
the
hole?
rabbit hole.
I went into the rabbit hole looking this up. If it was a sphere and it was the size that scientists said that it is, then at certain points things would go out of view. But with a proper lens, they don't go out of view. They just get further away. It says if it was rounded, then at some point, if it was round, it would go out of view. But they've taken so many of these things and they've done it and said, no, it stays exactly level.
You know, I mean,
But now, I don't know these people. Maybe they didn't really do it. But I'm saying you can go look those studies up yourself and go see for you. And I fell down that rabbit hole and I looked and I'm like, that's pretty crazy.
So you
I mean-
are leaning towards flat earther.
I'm leaning towards, I don't even know if I want to call it flat, circular.
you know, your whole
not
thing
sphere.
with Antarctica though, like if you just Google it right out of the gate, the information it gives you as a guy who grew up in the middle of nowhere makes a lot of sense to me. Because it basically just says, not illegal to fly over it. It's not practical or consideration because it's very challenging, as is Antarctica doesn't have a whole lot of people and a whole lot of stuff, so there's not any way to navigate through their airspace. Where over here, you have a constant flow of people telling you, hey, this is happening, that's happening, this is what's going on here. So if you're flying and you had no idea what the weather was going to look like over anywhere in America, anywhere, you would most likely crash because you don't know what's happening. So over Antarctica, you have no one to tell you what's happening.
Yeah.
Therefore, you would crash. And that's why they don't fly over Antarctica. Not that you can't. You just most likely die. Because,
and also you can't.
But that's not what Google says. It says
That's what. Right.
you could theoretically, but
now,
you can't because
now
you
Google
have no...
now Google genders, and Google COVID, and Google anything that you want to
okay.
Google that you don't agree with or believe in.
But I could also,
And,
I feel like because of the reason the pilots were making fun of people like that, I could probably
Right.
bring in my wife as much as she knows about piloting, and just to go ahead and go, well, this is what you have to do in order to fly, and you don't have that.
I've flown a
therefore.
plane. I've flown a plane,
Okay.
and guess what? I've always seen flat.
Yeah, because
When you watch the horizon, it don't do this. It just stays flat.
It doesn't curve away from you. You can see it curve that way, though.
Now you've engaged him. You're the guy that does his talk. No, the guy that's not even in this. He's like,
I
what?
love it. I love it.
Am I flying a
Yeah.
plane?
Have you sat in the front and flown a plane? I have. At
I've definitely sat in the front of a plane.
45. No, out looking out the front window.
Yeah, absolutely,
I've flown
multiple
it.
times.
And I'm telling you, it was this.
Did you see the ice wall?
No.
You should have been able to.
No, you couldn't see the ice wall. How would you
Why?
see it? Because your eyes can't see that far. How could your eyes see that far? Unless now if you had a
You
lens.
thought you were winning him over. You're not. You just aggravated him. He just
No.
like,
He's asking me, can you see a mile that way?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you see a wall a mile that way?
I don't know.
if there was
If
nothing
the
else
wall
on the
was
wall,
big
yeah,
enough.
you'd be like, that stops
Why
out
don't we have
there.
a picture from the North Pole of the ice wall?
Because you're not at the North Pole.
But people
I'm
have been,
not.
but people have
Someone
been
has.
there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have a camera that can go far enough to see all the way to the South Pole.
How do you know that?
Do you have one?
I don't. I wasn't here.
Exactly. Do you know anybody that does?
Oh, gosh.
All I'm telling you is you can go look up the studies for yourself. My point is, and what I've said
You
from the
can look
very
it
beginning
up.
of
But
this-
what I just read, I think most people listening would go, that sounds pretty valid. Yeah, that makes sense.
I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that I have known people personally in my life, and you know one of them. I won't say the names on here because I don't want to call them out. And they have personally told me that they have been on a flight privately that got into the part of it getting close to Antarctica where they're not supposed to be, and they were told, hey, you need to turn back. If you don't turn back, we're going to shoot you down. So I'm just saying, the people that I know personally,
Well, in that case, then, I think that probably every nation we're in war with, we can't fly over those either. Must be flat over there. Must be a wall.
I don't
In
think
the Middle East, lots of
I-
walls in the Middle East. Can't fly over there because they will shoot your ass down.
well, and then
Not even tell you first. Not even tell you first.
They won't shoot you down unless they want war brought on them. They're going to shoot down an American citizen. What
Are
happens?
Are you,
So when you're getting close to the
you do know
Antarctica-
that like all the other nations like have people like us locked up places, right? Like they just steal us, they take us, they kill us at any given time. They will.
Yeah.
And there's no war. I mean, Biden traded off.
I know. He's one of the biggest
He
warmongers.
left one of our people in there.
Right.
Like, okay, never mind.
Anyway,
I don't know how I keep getting roped into this. The complete bullshit of it. I just keep getting roped
but
in.
you see that's where me and you're going to have a little argument here because you keep saying the
Not for long. I'm on the lead.
you keep
We're
saying
already past our time.
You keep saying the complete bullshit of it, but then you have no answer that's definitive, just like I have no answer that's
I
definitive.
still need my 7 answers.
Okay, I've given you 3
All right.
or 4 already. Right, I'm giving you 3 or 4
5, 6,
already.
and 7.
Right. So I told you about we've talked about the compass. We've talked about the studies where they've shown that they can set different things in sea level where theoretically if we were a sphere they should be out of sight, but you can still see them if you have the right lenses and stuff like he
Yeah.
was talking about a while ago. The sun and the moon can be seen at the same time in the sky many times a year.
No, you can. Oh, I need to
I've seen
tell
it
y'all
2 days
all of
ago.
this. You can actually, if you have a telescope, you can actually see Mars and Venus from here.
Okay.
So I need you to get a telescope and see if those planets are round or flat.
But have you seen them, or you've just been told that you can see them? Because when I look up in the sky, I can see twinkly lights.
I know, but if you have a telescope and it's a dark night, you can see it.
Okay.
He's saying until you see it.
No, I'm not even saying that. I'm saying
I have
you can
seen
see it, but that doesn't mean that it's a different planet. It's
Nobody told me I have seen it. Well, somebody did tell me, and then I saw it. Because one time I went to a party, and they had this little telescope thing, and I saw Venus.
Did you love it?
Yeah.
Did you know that's where women are from? And men are from Mars?
What?
So,
Such an
sun and moon can be seen at the same time. So if we were spinning around,
Yeah.
and it's daytime over here, and I've seen it multiple times where it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I've seen it at 12 o'clock in the afternoon, or at noon. I've seen it midday. So theoretically at midday is when the sun should be highest in the air, right? And if we were, day and night was a sphere, then theoretically the moon should be on the opposite side of us, on the dark side, right? So we should be the opposite side.
I think it's a valid point.
Okay, go ahead.
Because if the Earth is a sphere, the moon also revolves around the sun, or the Earth.
It goes around us.
And it's not going to always be on the exact opposite side that the sun's on. It's at a different rotational speed.
If we have day and night, and at nighttime is when we see the moon.
Not always.
Why do you
We
want
just
like
call
this?
it night because it's dark out. And we say the moon
Right.
comes out at night because it usually does.
It also comes out during the day.
Okay. Yeah, that's my point. At the same time that the sun is up in the air.
That doesn't mean that that doesn't prove that the Earth's flat at all, though.
I didn't say it proves it. It just gives you reason to believe that it may not be sphere.
That isn't... Okay. I'll stop.
Okay. All I'm saying is, I've seen the moon in the sky the same time the sun is in the sky.
Wait, let me ask you this.
And if the moon only has light because it's reflecting the sun, right? So if they're both up there at the same time, well then when the sun goes away, but it's still reflecting on the moon, so you're saying now the moon is still in the place up here where it can still catch the sun, even though it may be on the other side of us, and it's supposed to be, a quarter of our size or whatever it is. So if it was on the other side of the earth, then how would the sun be reflecting on it at all?
I have a question for you. If you were to suspend water in air, what shape would it take?
The shape of its whatever you're trying to fill up with it.
No, it's suspended in air, like a rain droplet or anything else. When water takes shape, when you just leave it on its own, what does it create? What shape does it create?
It creates what I talked about from the very beginning. It has a firmament, and under the bottom would be flat, and over the top would have
But
a
in
dome.
air, if it's suspended in air, what shape would it take on?
Like a raindrop.
Well, that would be falling. It's only making that scoop because it's coming down. So if it was just suspended in one spot, what shape do you think it would take?
It would be a bubble.
So a spear?
Okay.
Would that make sense to you?
Where are you suspending water in air?
I'm getting there. I'm just asking you if that's the case.
Sure.
Because it says in Genesis, which you believe in,
Yeah.
that when God created the earth, that it was just water.
Okay.
So if he created the earth and suspended it in air, and it was water, and water suspended in air created a spear.
Right. But now
And that would be the closest that
But
the Bible would get to telling you, hey, we started this round.
But when you add in the earth part of it, which is the rock that we live on, the earth part that we breathe and we can't live in the water. So when you added in that land, what shape would that be?
Well, I haven't got that far into it.
It would be flat. And
No, I
God
don't-
said there will be a firmament and there will be a water above and below. So if you took this land and put it in there, the firmament would keep the water out from on top
But
of
then
us.
there would still be water below.
Right.
But you couldn't fly over it.
Okay. But
No,
you can.
I'm
You can
asking.
fly around it because you can fly in a circle. And you'll always be going east and west. You just can't go north without going south.
This is an amazing topic.
It is.
It is It's an amazing
And I knew it
topic.
was going to be. And it's the reason I want to talk about it. So just to clear everything up, once again,
I think we're past that. I don't think there's any.
No,
I think we're
Pretty
past
sure.
that.
No, we know we can. It's very simple. I don't have a strong belief one way or the other. I tend to lean towards more it being flat, with the note that I could be wrong, and it may very well be sphere. However, I haven't been showed enough that I believe, and I've been showed enough to believe that the moon landing is fake. I think we've all kind of been showed enough now that we know that that piece of junk that they say they took through the atmospheric pressure of space and flew up to the moon and landed there, and whoever was there videoing that got there and set up the camera to video him taking the first step onto the moon. There's a lot of questions there.
Hogwash.
A lot of hogwash there. I think we all agree on that. Do we all agree on that?
No.
Or no?
I don't think I can agree with you on anything at this point. I think you've confused my mind so bad that I'm just like, nope.
That's what I was going for.
Oh no, that's not confused on the world being round. Still, I'm still.
No, I think it
totally
just did
positive
because
of
you
that.
tried to prove this point. It was all just water. And then I said, yeah, but when they slid that land.
No. I stopped talking because I thought it was idiotic again. When I stop talking, it's usually because I'm like,
I thought
that
it was
is
idiotic
so
because it
bizarre
didn't
that
make
I didn't even
sense
know
to
how
me.
to respond to that.
I thought it was idiotic because it didn't make sense to me. That sounds.
Yeah, when it goes too far, I'm like, I don't know how to respond.
It's
to
not
that
too
because
far.
it's not-
You gave me a theoretical out of the Bible.
No, I didn't. Well, first of all,
Yeah.
you brought up a topic that you knew I was firmly against even having the conversation.
No, I didn't know you were
begin with.
firmly against it. I just knew that.
I said we're not going to talk about that.
I
You
said,
said nope.
And in the brief conversation we had at a steak dinner one night, which was delicious, by the way, I was very confronted by y'all that y'all thought I was an idiot.
I'm still not
And-
on that one subject. I
and-
think you're very, very wrong.
But you have no proof that I am, just like I have no proof that you are. I have things that I've looked at that I believe a certain way. You have things you've looked at that you believe, or you haven't really looked at it. You've actually never dove into it because you think it's idiotic to even have the conversation, which would lead me to also think that you're believing just what you're told without doing any research.
Okay.
Well, that's the point. And Jared is my guy that will research everything that he says
That
just
I
to make
feel
sure.
valid for any reason. And I definitely do not feel that this is a valid time to be spent to try to figure out if the earth is round
because
or flat.
because you'll never be able to figure it out. That's what makes it such a great
When
topic.
it doesn't change life one way or the other.
Yeah.
Either.
No.
That's
really
what makes
don't.
it great. That's what because it's just controversial in the fact of just having something that's like mostly what stoners talk about.
I think it's
I'm not stoned. This is the problem. I should be stoned to have this conversation.
But you don't do that stuff.
Right, so I don't have ridiculous conversations anymore.
But today, because you have a friend that wants to have a ridiculous
Oh my
conversation,
God.
you're stuck on a podcast having a
I mean,
ridiculous
that's the only
conversation.
reason. If you weren't my friend, I'd be like, I'm out, guys. I'm not sure what you guys are doing here, but I'm
But
not
see,
in it.
that ain't the Jared that I know.
It is to the Jared.
No.
I've left little writing sessions where I'm like, this is not the song I came in here to write. I'm done.
Yeah, but you're also the one that is the one that will go research something even when you know you're right, just to make sure you're right.
Yes, unless once again I feel like this will not affect change in any way.
I agree with that. It
Then
will
I'm
affect
like,
change.
nope. I'm gonna go
Because
home.
I'm still going to live my life and be happy and be the Vinny that I always am. But I now get to live it knowing that Jared thinks I'm an idiot because I have a separate belief from him.
No, I just think that you haven't thought this one through, and it's weird. To
But
me.
I've thought it through more than you because you just said you haven't ever thought about it at all.
No, I definitely have thought about it.
Whoa, 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 whoa!
I think about it enough to go,
How-
hey, everything they're saying makes a lot of sense to me. And if I go down this rabbit hole, I'm probably just going to go down a rabbit hole that a lot of other people have been down for no apparent reason, and it solves absolutely nothing. And what they're saying makes a lot of sense.
But isn't every conspiracy theory that? At
No, a
some
lot of
point.
conspiracy theories are way out there. What do you mean?
But when you first start with conspiracy theories, everybody thinks you're crazy. At one point, when people said, "Hey, there's this island where they take kids to," and pedophile island, whatever.
I don't know. See, I think that I'm a little too negative on those sort of things. When I hear something like that, I'm like, I mean, people are horrible. Probably.
But
And
I'm
that,
saying,
and that one can affect life one way or another too.
but I'm saying when that first came out, people were like, "Pfft, "That's crazy. That's preposterous. That could never happen." And then about 8 years later, it was like, "Oh, wait a second."
Yeah, but people have been talking
is
about the
happening.
Earth being flat and round, and still most people are still on board with it being round.
I don't know. Get on TikTok.
Dude, I'm not getting my information from TikTok, bro. Get on TikTok. But you discredit yourself more with that statement than anything. Get on TikTok.
This guy sends me more TikToks than any
and
human
they're
on
funny.
the planet.
They're funny.
But sometimes they're
And
also
they're not necessarily real. And I'm not claiming they're real.
But
They're just
sometimes,
funny.
but sometimes they are points that you're like, never thought about it like this.
This is also true.
Right, and that's just my point. Is this is maybe something you never thought about it like this?
And I'm not going to.
I'm gonna send it to you every day now. Every time I get a flat Earth thing on TikTok.
I mean, it's the best way to keep making sure that I don't answer text back.
Yeah.
That's the best way.
well, you don't do
All
that
right.
anyways, or emails.
So let's go final thoughts.
Okay, final thought. See,
thought is, this is ridiculous.
that's
That's my final thought.
Give us your full final thought.
But that was it. This is ridiculous. I'm with Donut Man over in the corner. We're together
He
on
ain't
this.
made one valid point, and you ain't made one valid point. I
Neither
made
have
several
you.
valid points.
You've made no valid points.
I've given you facts.
Your points are based off of a compass that you don't understand. That someone told you something, and now you believe that.
They
and
told
that's
me
the
I've
one
seen
thing
it
you believe.
work. I've seen that.
But
if
you never went around the North Pole.
You don't have to
You
go all the
never,
way
you
around the
never
North
went
Pole.
over the Earth enough with your compass in hand to see that it now points north still, but you're going south. You're like, it's still just things that you've been taught. Everything that we know is something we've been taught.
Okay, but some of the things we've been taught, we've also put to the test and seen it work.
Yes, and some we don't, and nor can we.
Okay, final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
Emma, final thoughts.
Final thought.
I still think the Earth is round.
Okay. All right.
Cool.
My final thought is this is a very interesting topic, and as much as I want to go down the rabbit hole, I think my rabbit hole will be bringing on a guest that has invested a lot more time than we have in this. I think that'd be a dope
that.
episode.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
No, you don't get to come to that episode.
I'm fine with that, too. I'm totally fine with that.
If you're not willing to have the conversation with your best friend, you don't get to have the conversation with an expert.
I'm totally good with either one of those. I don't come, I come either way. I'm fine with that.
So here's my final thoughts, and you don't get to have any final thoughts because you brought up no valid points.
No, he does
I don't
get
feel like the rest of us did either then.
No, you had some good points when you brought in.
I think Donut Man had just as many valid points as anyone else.
For
I don't remember
real.
one. What
No.
point did you make?
Can't see the ice wall.
Yeah, because you can't see that far.
And he also said,
Oh my god.
But if you fly to the ice wall,
And the technology doesn't exist
yeah.
to see that.
So-
That's why. It's ice.
I didn't say the technology doesn't exist.
I agree with Donut Man.
I'm saying if you get to the North Pole and you rise up, all you can see is ice at the North Pole. So maybe you're at the ice wall. I don't know. I haven't been there. He hasn't been there. You haven't been there. You been there? No.
Back to
You
final
been to outer
thoughts.
space? Anybody been to outer space?
I have been told that I've flown over it, though, so I don't know.
Flown over outer space or over the North
No,
Pole?
North Pole.
Oh, that'd be cool. Do you see the Borealis? What's it called?
Why would I know what I'm seeing? I'm watching a computer screen. I don't really know. And that's all lies, clearly, as well. Because it shows a
real.
sphere there, so it's clearly...
I just don't know how you would have ever went over the North Pole.
They talk about different flights. We'd have all sorts of different flights that you can see. What's
I don't
going
know
on?
any, I don't know any land at the North Pole that you would have ever traveled to.
Maybe I'm wrong about all that. I could be wrong about everything. I'm
I'm
probably going
saying-
to go home.
I'm gonna.
Probably the last time you're ever going to see me.
I hope so.
What? That's
So-
serious.
It's just a joke. So, anyways,
Unless
here's
it happens, then you're going to feel the
no,
thing
then I'll
we
feel
talked
terrible.
about the last episode.
Then that'll be in this episode forever, and I'll have to live with it. So here's my final thoughts.
But it'll go viral.
It will go viral. And then I'll feel like I
Actually, if it doesn't, I'm going to be really pissed. If I'm like, dude, I died after that episode.
Whoa, whoa,
I said I was gonna die.
whoa.
Link
You
in
didn't
the
say you that
comments
you
what
died. You said
say.
it'd be
Why
the
would
last
I
time
never
you
see
ever
me again?
You might not ever talk to me again after this episode.
That's not going to happen.
We'll
unless
see.
I die.
Well, we can't have that happen.
Hey, I have a question
Okay.
here. We just talked about dead things, and
It's a lot of episodes ago.
y'all two said after 5 minutes y'all make up, but Jared's over here saying, "What if he dies on the way home tonight?"
No, he didn't say what if I die. He said what if you never see me again.
I know, but what
Right,
if he
because
dies
I thought our
on the
love
way
ran
home?
deep enough that you would know that I must have died if we never spoke again.
I don't know that.
But what if he dies on the
you
way
just told me
home?
I tell you I love you
You-
every time we get off the phone.
I told you first.
Yes, but I always respond.
That's true. Anyways, your point was that he didn't say that he was going to die on the way home. What he said
But
was
what
you
if
may
he
never see me.
does?
He's not going to.
Yeah, but what if he
But-
never spoke again and then I eventually died?
But
Because
What
I'm
if
going to.
That's not gonna
Unless I was lied to about that too.
What if he?
we would
gets-
see each other again in heaven. Would you
They're gonna-
know my name
What if he has a heart
if I
attack?
saw you in heaven?
That's true. What if I had a heart attack?
But he's not going to. And if he does, it won't be. I won't be not talking to him because we're not friends. Maybe because he died.
I know, but then if y'all are like fighting right, are y'all?
Well, first off, we're not.
We're not
We're just
fighting.
joking around.
They're having fun.
I know, but what if y'all were? Would y'all make up by the time y'all get out the
for
store?
sure. But we listen. We can have a disagreement and still love each other.
That's life.
You ever heard your parents fight? Right, and they still love each other.
Because they make up.
Oh yeah, they do. Back to my final point.
Wrap us up.
Here's my final point. Final point. I've been wanting to do this episode forever because it's fun to discuss with people. I don't know what I believe either way. I've had times that I thought, no, it's got to be flat. I've had times I thought, no, it's got to be sphere. I think it could be either one. I think it's a cool and fun conversation. Jared doesn't share my enthusiasm for it. But I always like to think about things on that level of like, there's a possibility that this is right or that's right. Or maybe it's a combination of both. Maybe it's more of an oval like you said a while ago. And, there's a bubble in here that has land that's flat in it. I don't know all that. But I do know that I enjoy having conversations like that. I enjoy diving deep into stuff. I have had fun and spent some time, probably more time than I should, going in and looking at these theories and being like, kind of makes sense. I've also looked at some of them and thought, don't really make sense. So I enjoy the conversation. I like to get deep and think about stuff like that. I know people don't think of me as that kind of guy because I'm like goofball all the time. One thing I don't ever let it do is affect my life in the fact of I'm not going to quit living and being the Christian guy that I am. I'm not going to quit being the same person that loves life and enjoys life and all that. So hopefully if you're watching this episode and you've seen us get heated, it's all just for fun, except for Jared. If you get into an argument with your friend, like she was saying a while ago, you're going to love them. You're going to have disagreements. A lot of people think that LeBron James is better than Michael Jordan, and those people are
ridiculous.
Wrong.
That's. Well, I'm glad we agreed on something at the end.
But on the internet, there's people that believe the opposite of that every single day.
Yes, but there's also factual things we can look at.
Yeah, but when it comes to Michael Jordan, he believes in a flat Earth. Just so you know. So
does he?
No, I believe Jordan can jump around the Earth.
He jumps high enough that the Earth's 1,000-mile-an-hour rotation
Here we go.
spins underneath his feet, and he lands on the other side. It's kind of like flying. Anyways,
Air Jordan.
I mean,
Final
do we
thoughts.
know? Is it possible that Jordan always jumped in the direction that we were spinning?
I don't know.
I don't know what direction these courts were facing, but it could have been in his favor.
Did we spin
If
east
he
to west
knew
or west to
how to jump in that direction, so I don't know. He could have tapped into the spin.
That's probably why he jumped so high and so far.
Right, thrusting him much further than everyone else.
That's why he only
before.
dunked when he was going east.
But see, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what direction he was jumping. Maybe every game, every jump was always.
Wait, we
in the same
spin east or
direction.
we spin west? I guess the Earth spins west, right? Or does it spin east? Because sun sets in the west, so I guess we'd have to spin that way. Yeah. So the sun's spinning east, or the Earth is spinning east.
You know, to wrap that up, do you know how I typically get out of arguments about Jordan being the greatest ever?
You just tell them they're wrong.
No, you just look up his longest dunk, and I always have to look it up. I never remember. Look up his longest dunk and measure it out on the floor, and then go, think of anyone else that is great enough to do this.
What about his longest?
It's so astounding because every time you lay it out, you're always like, holy crap!
What about his longest dump?
I think I probably got him beat on that. I don't know about that. I've never seen any of his dunks, but I've got a picture of one of mine.
I will see it. I probably have already seen it. Anyway, we love y'all. We wanted to bring something fun, something different. We've done everything that's been serious. We've done crazy stuff. We've done interviews with people. I wanted to bring something to the table that was a little outside the box and different for us, and I think we met.
This
hit
was
that.
it.
I think we hit that.
For real.
I don't care what
This
you
was
believe.
it.
I love you anyway. I don't know what I believe. I teeter on both sides of it. I love you. Like, share, comment, argue with us in the post. We don't care. Give us something. We're going to have some great reels. One of them is going to go viral. Probably be people calling me a dumbass, and I'm okay with that. I love you. Good night.
Hey.